Hello everyone, my name is Denise and today I'll be talking on the topic scapegoating. What is a scapegoat? Merriam-Webster.com defines scapegoat as a goat upon whose head is symbolically placed the sins of the people, after which he is sent into the wilderness in the biblical ceremony of Yom Kippur. So that's reference to the Judaism. Next, it's also defined, the scapegoat is also defined as one that bears the blame for others. And finally, the one that is the object of irrational hostility. Of course, when you think about all these definitions of scapegoat, the person that pops to mind first would of course be our Lord Jesus Christ, who bore all the sins of the world on himself and then was crucified. He's the classic scapegoat. But I'm just going to be brave and talk about another scapegoat that is woven into the Bible stories, and that would be the Garrison Demoniac. So I'm taking this from Luke chapter 8 verse 26. They came to land in the country of the Gerasenes, which is opposite Galilee. He was stepping ashore when a man from the town was possessed by devils came towards him. For a long time the man had worn no clothes, nor did he live in a house but in the tombs. So here's a very classic example of a scapegoat. He's a man who has been pushed to live in the margins, no longer suitable to live within the living people, but to live amongst the dead instead. And he's not given the, I would say, basic dignity, like he's not dressed. Okay, so yes, there's a spiritual element to it, but today I'll be talking more about the psychological perspective. That why do we scapegoat people? Okay, one reason is that within each of us, as long as we're alive, we'll always be battling our 7 deadly sins, cardinal sins: pride, envy, anger, sloth, gluttony, lust, and avarice. So let's just give a personal example. For example, as I'm living life, I want to be as morally upright as I can. Then as I was walking past a shop and I saw a very beautiful pink dress, I really wanted to buy that dress. But then there's another side of me, the one that's very moral, very upright, the critical side that says, Denise, don't succumb to avarice. You have enough clothes in your cupboard, stop buying clothes. So I said, oh, okay. So instantly, there's a part of me that felt deprived, a part of me that feels judged, as well as a part of me that's reminded of my own fallen nature. All these three are just not very good feelings. So I would describe it as an intrapsychic tension. Like if you think about a rubber band, there's a disparity between what I want to be, this flawless, perfect, saintly person, versus what I really am. So there's a disparity, there's a rubber band stretching there. There's intrapsychic tension. So how do I find relief for this intrapsychic tension? I do this thing called scapegoating. So I don't have to go to the tombs to look for a demoniac to scapegoat. These days, all I have to do is to look at Instagram, look at those rich people with multiple bags and clothes and multiple plastic surgeries, and I can say to myself, wow, Denise, you're such a fantastic person. You don't have the sin of avarice. That person A, B, C, D, E on Instagram has it, not you. So instantly I found relief for my intrapsychic tension. I'm just a little bit bad, not seriously bad. So I'm going to just situate the darkness outside of me and spend the next 30 minutes bitching about that person to my husband. Okay, so that is a classic way that I'm situating the darkness outside of me and not embracing the shadow within me, which is true, which is actually real. So okay, Jesus was brilliant. He managed to find a remedy to that. Let me just quote from Matthew 5:27. You have learned how it was said, you must not commit adultery. But I say this to you, if a man looks at a woman lustfully, he has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Okay, so that's awesome. So what it means is that as long as I walk through past that shop and I wanted to buy that pink dress, I've already am guilty of avarice. I don't have to have cupboards of thousands of dollars of dresses to be guilty of avarice. Okay, just like that, I'm guilty of it already. So that's awesome, because in a way, Jesus is helping me situate this shadow within myself, deal with the darkness within you instead of projecting it outwards. What's the problem with scapegoating? Why is it so bad? It's bad because firstly, when you situate the darkness outside, it actually feeds your own pride. And it's not going to help you if you're so proud. You need to be humble to have any relationship with God or to do any kind of inner healing work. You need to be humble and realize the problem is within you, not outside of you. Right? It makes you proud and self-righteous. I don't have a problem. She has a problem. So how am I going to do any work if the problem is outside? Because the only one that I have control over is myself, right? So, okay, the first reason, if you scapegoat a lot, then you'll be a very proud person. The second reason is that as a society, we keep doing scapegoating, then we'll be pushing a lot of people to the margins, right? Or all of you with mental health issues belong in the margins. All of you who have been guilty of some crime, like your ex-offender, you belong in the margins. All of you who are not heterosexual and have the mainstream sexual preferences, you belong in the margins. Then we are like having so many scapegoats on the margins. So instead of turning inwards to think of how I can fix myself as a person, how I can bring up my family well as a family unit, how we can work on our dynamics better, we are always projecting our sin outside and blaming other people. So that's not good for society. And if I go back to definition by Merriam-Webster, a scapegoat is one who bears the blame for others and is the object of irrational hostility. Exactly so. So if we have this bad habit of scapegoating and scapegoating others, then there'll be a bunch of people in society, the ones who are more different, who are less so-called acceptable socially, who will have to bear this exceptional hostility. And it can be a very soul-crushing load on them. It's unfair for them. So instead of channeling all the energy into hurting people, how about we turn it inwards and look at ourselves? Okay, I kid you not, but ever since I started doing this shadow work, at night when I'm sleeping, in my half asleep, half awake kind of a state, I tend to have this, because I have a very, very, very bad habit, years of scapegoating. Oh, this person sucks, he hurt me before, I'm just gonna not let him in again. It's such a horrible thing that he's done. So that would be the narrative in my head. Then after that, there's another voice, hey Denise, don't you know you're doing shadow work? So this means that if there's something you hate about him, that means it's inside you too. Then I'm just, oh gosh, this darkness is within me, why am I so horrible? Filled with self-condemnation. And then next, the third voice, which is the compassionate voice, is you have to be compassionate towards your shadow side. It's normal to be that, it's just part of the human condition. Be compassionate to your shadow side. It helps you to relate to other people better. It's just the state of human depravity, the human condition, the original sin. So imagine when I'm sleeping, there are three voices. This person sucks. Oh no, actually you suck. Or actually you have to be compassionate to yourself, you don't suck that bad. So that's like my state lately, this kind of work that I've been doing. And I must say that's quite good, because next morning when I wake up, I start to be, when I see something I don't like, I'm not so fast anymore. It's no longer a knee-jerk reaction to criticize. Instead I'm thinking, oh wow, that's something I don't like, that means it points towards me, right? Okay, so what can I fix in myself? So well, I'm still on the journey, but it's been helpful, and I think that it's something that we all should look at. Okay, so this is the end of today's video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, kindly press like, subscribe and share with your friends, and also leave in the comment section below other videos that you wish that I could make. Thank you and God bless.